ज्ञान की ज्योत मन में जगा दो प्रभु, ज्ञान की ज्योत मन में जगा दो प्रभु। क्या करें कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा, क्या करें कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा। बात बिगड़ी हुई है, बना दो प्रभु, ज्ञान की ज्योत मन में जगा दो प्रभु। हम सभी लोग आपस में मिलकर रहें, हम सभी लोग आपस में मिलकर रहें। प्रेम गंगा हृदय में बहा दो प्रभु, ज्ञान की ज्योत मन में जगा दो प्रभु।
सबको सादर नमस्ते जी। On behalf of Arya Sabha America, it is my distinct pleasure and honor to welcome you all to the Saturday morning Vedic Satsang and Agnihotra services hosted by Arya Sabha America. I welcome all of your humble presence this morning. Today is December 23rd. We commemorate Swami Shraddhanand Balidan Divas. Acharya ji will be speaking about Swami Shraddhanandji's contributions. So, without any further delay, I'll request Acharya Varun Dev ji to lead us in this morning's prayers. Acharya ji, आपका स्वागत है।
धन्यवाद श्री भुवनेश जी, बहुत बहुत। टुडे सभी उपस्थित आर्य गणों को मेरा हार्दिक प्रणाम, सबको नमस्ते और सभी का आज के इस सत्संग में स्वागत है। सो एज भुवनेश जी mentioned that today is the Balidan Divas of Hutatma Swami Shraddhanand ji, who sacrificed his life for the sake of Vedic Dharma and whose life was a living example in front of us that how a man is transformed completely, thoroughly, entirely, integrally by the touch of living touch of Rishi Dayanand ji. So today, later on, we will talk some beautiful memories of his life, which I will share with you and which always inspires all of us whenever we come in contact with those, and when we refresh those memories, it gives us a spiritual force, a boost, a kind of enthusiasm in our life to work for the dharma, so that we also become partially somewhere in our life livingly and positively, optimistically, voluntarily to sacrifice some of our pleasures, our comforts in order to propagate this universal Vedic Dharma. So, with that devotion, with that bhav in our heart, let's start today's satsang with three times Om. We will chant three times Om. Kindly take deep breath, close your eyes. Om. 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 ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् तूने हमें उत्पन्न किया पालन कर रहा है तू तुझसे ही पाते प्राण हम दुखियों के कष्ट हरता है तू तेरा महान तेज है छाया हुआ सभी स्थान सृष्टि की वस्तु वस्तु में तू हो रहा है विद्यमान तेरा ही धरते ध्यान हम मांगते तेरी दया ईश्वर हमारी बुद्धि को श्रेष्ठ मार्ग पर चला दाता हमारी बुद्धि को श्रेय मार्ग पर चला ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् आइए नाउ let's start together Vedic Sandhya Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna means all of our consciousness, all our thoughts, our emotions, all our mental energies may unite and we offer everything. We focus everything in ourselves only on the divine consciousness, only on God, only on the Almighty Parameshwar who has created this whole universe, this cosmos, for the well-being of us, to prosper in this world with knowledge and all the means of life. He is the source of all happiness. He is the source of all the knowledge. He is the source of all peace and everything in our life. He is the source of our prana, all the energies. So let's concentrate in the heart or in between the eyebrows or in the throat center. Any center of consciousness you can choose according to your comfort. And whenever we chant the mantras of the Sandhya, we stay there. Our dharana should not be delocated from there. So let's start our Sandhya Ishwar Dhyana. अथ ब्रह्मयज्ञः ॐ ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये संयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः ॐ वाक् वाक् ॐ प्राणः प्राणः ॐ चक्षुः चक्षुः ॐ श्रोत्रं श्रोत्रम् ॐ नाभिः ॐ हृदयम् ॐ कण्ठः ॐ शिरः ॐ बाहुभ्यां यशोबलम् ॐ करतलकरपृष्ठे ॐ भुः पुनातु शिरसि ॐ भुवः पुनातु नेत्रयोः ॐ स्वः पुनातु कण्ठे ॐ महः पुनातु हृदये ॐ जनः पुनातु नाभ्याम् ॐ तपः पुनातु पादयोः ॐ सत्यं पुनातु पुनः शिरसि ॐ खं ब्रह्म पुनातु सर्वत्र ॐ भुः ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् ॐ ऋतं च सत्यं चाभिधात्तपसोऽध्यजायत ततो रात्रजायत ततः समुद्रो अर्णवः ॐ समुद्रादर्णवादधि संवत्सरो अजायत अहोरात्राणि विदधद्विश्वस्य मिषतो वशी ॐ सूर्याचन्द्रमसौ धाता यथा पूर्वमकल्पयत् दिवं च पृथिवीं चान्तरिक्षमथो स्वः ॐ शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये संयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः ॐ प्राचीदिगग्निरधिपतिरसितो रक्षितादित्या ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ दक्षिणादिगिन्द्रोऽधिपतिस्थिरश्चिराजि रक्षिता पितर ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ प्रतीचीदिक्वरुणोऽधिपतिः प्रीदाकुरक्षितान्नमिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ उदीचीदिक्सोमोऽधिपतिः स्वजो रक्षिताशनिरिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ ध्रुवादिग्विष्णुरधिपतिः कल्माषग्रीवो रक्षिताविरुध ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ ऊर्ध्वादिबृहस्पतिरधिपतिः श्वित्रो रक्षिता वर्षमीषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ उद्वयं तमसस्परिस्वाह पश्यन्त उत्तरम् देवं देवत्रा सूर्यमगन्मज्योतिरुत्तमम् ॐ उदुत्यं जातवेदसं देवं वहन्ति केतवः दृशे विश्वाय सूर्यम् ॐ चित्रं देवानामुदगादनीकं चक्षुर्मित्रस्य वरुणस्याग्नेः आप्राद्या वा पृथिवी अन्तरिक्षं सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्थुषश्च स्वाहा ॐ तच्चक्षुर्देवहितं पुरस्ताच्छुक्रमुच्चरत् पश्येम शरदाः शतं जीवेम शरदाः शतं शृणुयाम शरदाः शतं प्रब्रवाम शरदाः शतमदीनाः स्याम शरदाः शतं भूयश्च शरदाः शता ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् हे ईश्वर दयानिधे भवत्कृपया अनेन जपोपासनादिकर्मणा धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्षाणां सद्यः सिद्धिर्भवेन्नः ॐ नमः शम्भवाय च मयो भवाय च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः इति ब्रह्मयज्ञः. Now we will chant 8 mantras of Ishwar Stuti Prarthana Upasana, in which we will praise, we will adore the infinite attributes of Parameshwar, adoration of the divine consciousness, and only through adoration we can come closer to Parameshwar, to his Shakti, to his Anand, to his Jnan, and we will pray for that wisdom, that energy, that consciousness which will lead, which will make us ascend towards the greater heights of consciousness, where there is no bondages, where there is no suffering, there is only God's compassion, God's knowledge, true knowledge, and fulfillness and perfection. And we will try to come closer to his presence. We'll try to, in our heart, feel his divine presence, which will make our life meaningful, purposeful, and wonderful. So let's start ईश्वरिस् अथ ईश्वरिस्तुति प्रार्थनोपासना मन्त्रः। ॐ विश्वानि देव सवितर्दुरितानि परासुव यद्भद्रं तन्न आसुव। ॐ हिरण्यगर्भः समवर्तताग्रे भूतस्य जातः पतिरेक आसीत् सदाधार पृथिवीं द्यामुते मां कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम। ॐ य आत्मदा बलदा यस्य विश्व उपासते प्रशिशं यस्य देवाः यस्य छाया अमृतं यस्य मृत्युः कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम। ॐ यः प्राणतो निमिषतो महेत्वैक इद्राजा जगतो बभूव य ईशे अस्य द्विपदश्चतुष्पदः कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम। ॐ येन द्यौरुग्रा पृथिवी च दृढा येन स्वाहस्तभितं येन नाकः यो अन्तरिक्षे रजसो विमानः कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम। ॐ प्रजापतेनत्वदेतान्यो विश्वा जातानि परिता बभूव यत्कामास्ते जुहुमस्तन्नो वस्तु वयं स्याम पतयोरयीणाम्। ॐ स नो बन्धुर्जनिता सविधाता धामानि वेदभुवनानि विश्वा यत्र देवा अमृतमानशानास्तृतीये धामन्नध्यैरयन्त। ॐ अग्नेन यशोपथाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देववयुनानि विद्वान् यूयोध्यस्मज्जुहुराणमेनो भूयिष्ठान्ते नम उक्तिं विधेम। इति ईश्वर स्तुति प्रार्थनोपासना मंत्रः। हे सकल जगत के उत्पत्ति करता, समग्र ऐश्वर्य युक्त, सब सुखों के दाता, हे शुद्ध स्वरूप परमेश्वर, आप सत्य स्वरूप हैं, चेतन स्वरूप हैं, आनंद स्वरूप हैं। आप ही हमारे प्राणों के भी प्राण हैं। आप ही हमें सब दुखों से छुड़ाने हारे हैं। अक्षुण्ण सुखों की प्राप्ति कराने वाले भी हे परमेश्वर आप ही हैं। आप हमारी माता हैं। हे परमेश्वर आप हमारे पिता हैं, हमारे बंधु, सखा, आचार्य। हे ईश्वर आप हमारे परम गुरु हैं। आप ही हमारे राजा हैं। हमारे न्यायाधीश भी केवल आप ही हैं। आज इस प्रातः काल की शुभ वेला में हम आपके समक्ष अपने हृदयों में कुछ पवित्र प्रार्थनाएं लेकर उपस्थित हुए हैं। हे जगदीश्वर, हमारे मन के सभी अंधकार, अज्ञान, अविद्या को आप दूर कर हमारे मन में अपनी दिव्य ज्ञान की ज्योति को प्रज्वलित कीजिए। हमारे हृदयों में हे परमेश्वर आप हमें सब कुछ देने वाले हैं। हमारे हृदयों में आप अनन्य भक्ति, अहेतु की भक्ति को जागृत कीजिए। हमारे प्राणों के सभी विकारों को दूर कर हमारे प्राणों में अपनी दिव्य शक्ति का संचार कीजिए। हमारे शरीरों में आरोग्य शक्ति को उत्पन्न कीजिए। सभी रोगों को, शोक को दूर कीजिए। संपूर्ण संसार में शांति, सामंजस्य एवं प्रेम को स्थापित कीजिए। हे ईश्वर, हमें अपने अनुकूल बनाएं, हमें अपना पात्र बनाएं, अपने आनंद का, अपने ज्ञान का, अपनी सभी दिव्य गुणों का। यही आपसे हम विनम्र प्रार्थना करते हैं। हमारी प्रार्थनाएं स्वीकार करें, स्वीकार करें, स्वीकार करें। Now we will chant 3 mantras from each Swasti Vachanam and Shanti Karanam. Last time I remember we chanted from 7 to 9 3 mantras. Today we will start from 10th to 12. 10, 11, 12. स्वस्ति वाचनम अथ स्वस्ति वाचनम। ओम दृचक्षसो अनिमिषन्तो अर्हणा बृहद्देवासो अमृतत्वमानशुः ज्योतिरथा अहिमाया अनागसो दिवो वर्षमाणं वसते स्वस्तये सम्राजो ये सुवृधो यज्ञमाययुर्परिवृताद्यधिरे दिवि क्षयम् ता आविवास नमसा सुवृत्तिभिर्महो आदित्याम् अदितिं स्वस्तये को वः स्तोमं राधतीयं जुजोषथ विश्वे देवासो मनुषो यथिष्ठन को वोध्वरं तु विजाता अरं करद्यो नः पर्षदत्यः स्वस्तये। इति स्वस्ति वाचनस्य त्रयो मन्त्राः। शान्तिकरणस्य त्रयो मन्त्राः 10, 11 and 12। ॐ शन्नो देवः सविता त्रायमाणः शन्नो भवन्तु शसो विभातिः शन्नः पर्जन्यो भवतु प्रजाभ्यः शन्नः क्षेत्रस्य पतिरस्तु शम्भुः शन्नो देवा विश्वदेवा भवन्तु शं सरस्वती सहधीभिरस्तु शमभिषाचः शमुरातिशाचः शन्नो दिव्याः पार्थिवाः शन्नो अप्याः शन्नः सत्यस्य पतयो भवन्तु शन्नो अर्वन्तः शमुसन्तु गावः शन्नः ऋभवः सुकृताः सुहस्ताः शन्नो भवन्तु पितरो हवेषु इति शान्तिकरणस्य त्रयो मन्त्राः पाठः। Now I request all the respected yajmans, please take few drops of water on the palm of your right hand for Sankalpa Patha. We will resolve before we start our Dev Yajna that we will be fully focused, concentrated on the God, on Parmeshwar, and let may this Dev Yajna be successful. Atha Sankalpa Patha. ॐ तत्सत् श्री ब्रह्मणो दिवसे द्वितीये पहरारोत्तरार्धे वैवस्वते मनवन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे कलियुगे कलिप्रथमचरणे एकवृन्द षण्णवतिकोटि अष्टलक्ष त्रिपञ्चाशत्सहस्र चतुर्विंशत्युत्तरशततमे सृष्टिसंवत्सरे अशीत्यधिक द्विसहस्रे वैक्रमाब्दे नवनवत्यधिक शततमे दयानन्दाब्दे शिशिरऋतौ मार्गशीर्षमासे शुक्लपक्षे द्वादश्यां तिथौ भरणी नक्षत्रे शनिवासरे प्रातःकाले शुभमुहूर्ते उत्तरी अमेरिकाद्वीपे संयुक्तराष्ट्र अमेरिकादेशे सर्वकल्याणार्थम् ईश्वरप्रीत्यर्थं च अस्माभिरत्र देवयज्ञः क्रियते। I request to leave the water on the ground. Now, Achaman mantraha. Please take few drops of water on the palm of your right hand, and after the mantra 3 times, please sip the water, drink that water. Om Amritopastaranamasi Swaha. Second time. Om Amritapidhanamasi Swaha. Third time. Om Satyam Yashah Shrirmai Shrihi Shrayatam Swaha. Kindly take few more drops and just rinse your hand on your side. Now, I request Yajman to take few drops of water on the palm of your left hand, and with the help of middle and ring finger of your right hand, different body parts will be touched from right side to left side of the body. Om Vangma Asya Astu, Om Nasorme Prano Astu, Om Akshanorme Chakshurastu, Om Karnayorme Shrotram Astu, Om Bahorme Balamastu, ओम उर्वोर्म ओजो अस्तु। ओम अरिष्टानि मे अंगानि तनुस्तन्वा मे सह सन्तु। अग्नि प्रदीपन मंत्र। काइंडली लाइट द दीपक। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः। Now, with the Deepak, please light your camphor and then we will establish fire Agni in the Havan Kund after the mantra. Om Bhurbhuvah Swardyauriv Bhumna Prithvi Varimna Tasyaste Prithvi Deva Yajani Prishthe Agni Manna Manna Dhyayadadhe. ॐ उद्बुद्ध स्वाग्ने प्रतिजाग्रही त्वमिष्टापूर्ते संसृजेथामयं च अस्मिन् सदस्थे अद्युतरस्मिन् विश्वे देवा यजमानस्य सीदत. Now I request all the yajmans, please take 3 samidhas, wood sticks, to offer, then dip them into the ghee, and with swaha, please offer each samidha after the mantra. Om ayanta idma atma jata vedastene dhyasva vardhasva cheddavardhaya चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेनान्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा. इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्न मम. ॐ समिधाग्निं दुवस्यत घृतैर्बोर्धयता तिथिम् आस्मिन् हव्याजुहोतन. ॐ सुसमिद्धाय शोचिषे घृतं तीव्रं जुहोतन अग्नये जातवेदसे स्वाहा. इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्न मम. ॐ तन्त्वा समिद्भिरङ्गिरो घृतेन वर्धयामसि बृहच्छोछाय विष्ठय स्वाहा. इदमग्नये अंगिरसे इदन्न मम. Now पंच घृत आहुति. 5 घी की आहुति देंगे स्वाहा के साथ. ओम अयंत इद्म आत्मा जात वेदस्तेने ध्यस्व वर्धस्व चेद्वर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेनान्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा. इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्न मम. ॐ अयन्त इद्म आत्मा जातवेदस्तेने ध्यस्व वर्धस्व चेद्वर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेनान्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा. इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्न मम. ॐ अयन्त इद्म आत्मा जातवेदस्तेने ध्यस्व वर्धस्व चेद्वर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेनान्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा. इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्न मम. ॐ अयन्त इद्म आत्मा जातवेदस्तेने ध्यस्व वर्धस्व चेद्वर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेनान्नाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा. इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्न मम। ॐ अयन्त इद्म आत्मा जातवेदस्तेने ध्यस्ववर्धस्व चेद्वर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेनान्ना द्येन समेधय स्वाहा। इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्न मम। Now, sprinkling of water, Jal Sinchan mantra. First, opposite Yajman in the east, then where Yajman is sitting with ghee, that side, and then on the left and right side. Om Adite Anumanyaswa. Om Anumate Anumanyaswa. Om Saraswatya Anumanyaswa. Now, after the mantra, please start sprinkling from the right side from the south. Om Deva Savitah Prasuva Yajyam Prasuva Yajyapatim Bhagaya Divyo Gandharvah Ketapuh Ketannah Punatu Vachaspatirvachannah Swadatu. Aghara Vajya Bhagahuti, 4 oblations of ghee in a line in Havan Kund, first on the left side, north, second on right, south, and 2 in the center. Om Agnaye Swaha, Idam Agnaye Danna Mama. Om Somaya Swaha, Idam Somaya Idanna Mama. Om Prajapataye Swaha, Idam Prajapataye Idanna Mama. Om Indraya Swaha, Idam Indraya Idanna Mama. Now, 4 more oblations of ghee, Vyahrit Ahutiyan. Om Bhuragnaye Swaha, Idam Agnaye Idanna Mama. Om Bhurvayave Swaha, Idam Vayave Idanna Mama. Om Swaradityaya Swaha, Idam Adityaya Idanna Mama. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaragnivaayavadityebhyah Swaha. इदमग्नि वायवादित्येभ्य इदन्न मम। सुष्टकृत आहुति, प्रसाद की आहुति देंगे। ओम यदस्य कर्मणो अत्यरीरिचं यद्वान्यूनमिहाकरम् अग्निष्टत् सुष्टकृत विद्यात् सर्वं शिष्टं सुहुतं करोतु मे। अग्नये सुष्टकृते सुहुतहुते सर्वप्रायश्चित्ताहुतीनाम् कामानां समर्धयित्रे सर्वान्नः कामान् समर्धय स्वाहा। इदमग्नये स्विष्टकृते इदन्न मम। एक घी की मौन आहुति। ओम स्वाहा। इदं प्रजापतये इदन्न मम। नाउ प्रातःकालीन सायंकालीन आहुतियां, सामग्री और घी साथ में, टुगेदर, घी एंड सामग्री। ओम सूर्यो ज्योतिर्ज्योतिः सूर्यः स्वाहा। ओम सूर्यो वर्चो ज्योतिर्वर्चः स्वाहा। ओम ज्योतिः सूर्यः सूर्यो ज्योतिः स्वाहा। ओम सजुर्देवेन सवित्रा सजुरुषसेन्द्रवत्याजुषाणः सूर्यो वेतु स्वाहा। ओम अग्निर्ज्योतिर्ज्योतिरग्निः स्वाहा। ओम अग्निर्वर्चो ज्योतिर्वर्चः स्वाहा। ओम स्वाहा। ओम सजुर्देवेन सवित्रा सजुरात्रेन्द्रवत्याजुषाणो अग्निर्वेतु स्वाहा। ओम भूरग्नये प्राणाय स्वाहा। इदमग्नये प्राणाय इदन्न मम। ओम भूर्वायवे अपानाय स्वाहा। इदं वायवे अपानाय इदन्न मम। ओम स्वरादित्याय व्यानाय स्वाहा। इदमादित्याय व्यानाय इदन्न मम। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वरग्निवायवादित्येभ्यः प्राणा पानव्यानेभ्यः स्वाहा। इदमग्निवायवादित्येभ्यः प्राणापानव्यानेभ्यः इदन्न मम। ओमापो ज्योतिरसो अमृतं ब्रह्म भूर्भुवः स्वरों स्वाहा। ॐ या मेधां देवगणः पितरश्चोपासते तया मामद्य मेधयाग्नि मेधाविनं कुरु स्वाहा। ॐ विश्वानि देव सवितर्दुरितानि परासुव यद्भद्रं तन्न आसुव स्वाहा। ॐ अग्नेनय सुपथाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देववयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मज्जुहुराणमेनो भूयिष्ठान्तेन मुक्तिं विधेम स्वाहा। 3 बार हम महामृत्युंजय मंत्र की आहुति देंगे सभी परिवार गणों के लिए, आर्य परिवार के लिए, उत्तम स्वास्थ्य के लिए। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् स्वाहा। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् स्वाहा। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् स्वाहा। हुतात्मा स्वामी श्रद्धानंद जी के श्रद्धांजलि के लिए हम कुछ 2-3 मंत्रों से विशेष आहुति देंगे। ओम वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महन्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात् तमेव विदित्वाति मृत्युमेति न अन्यपन्था विद्यते अयनाय स्वाहा। ओम कामो धीरो अमृतः स्वयंभूरसेन तृप्तो न कुतश्चनो न तमेव विद्वान् विभाय मृत्योरात्मानं धीरम् अजरं युवानं स्वाहा। ओम इन्द्रश्रेष्ठानि द्रविणानि देहि चित्तिं दक्षस्य सुभगत्वमस्मे पोषं रयीणामरिष्टिं तनूनां स्वादमानं वाचः सुदिनत्वमहनां स्वाहा। ओम यतो यतः समीहसे ततनो भयं कुरु शन्नः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयं नः पशुभ्यः स्वाहा। ओम स्तुता मया वरदा वेदमाता प्रचोदयन्तां पावमानि द्विजानाम् आयुः प्राणं प्रजां पशुं कीर्तिं द्रविणं ब्रह्मवर्चसं मह्यं दत्त्वा व्रजत ब्रह्मलोकं स्वाहा। 3 टाइम्स गायत्री मंत्र की आहुति देंगे। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वाहा तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वाहा तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वाहा तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। 3 बार पूर्ण आहुति करेंगे। ओम सर्वं वै पूर्णं स्वाहा। ओम सर्वं वै पूर्णं स्वाहा। ओम सर्वं वै पूर्णं स्वाहा। 3 बार हम अब क्षमा कीजिए यज्ञ प्रार्थना करेंगे। पूजनीय प्रभो हमारे भाव उज्ज्वल कीजिए छोड़ देवें छल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए वेद की बोलें ऋचाएं सत्य को धारण करें हर्ष में हो मग्न सारे, शोक सागर से तरे। अश्वमेधादिक रचाए, यज्ञ पर उपकार को। धर्म मर्यादा चला कर, लाभ दे संसार को। नित्य श्रद्धा भक्ति से यज्ञादि हम करते रहें। रोग पीड़ित विश्व के संताप सब हरते रहें। भावना मिट जा हे मन से, पाप अत्याचार की। कामनाएं पूर्ण होवें, यज्ञ से नर नार की। लाभकारी हो हवन हर जीव धारी के लिए। वायु जल सर्वत्र हो, शुभ गंध को धारण किए। स्वार्थ भाव मिटे हमारा, प्रेम पथ विस्तार हो। इदन्न मम का सार्थक, प्रत्येक में व्यवहार हो। हाथ जोड़ झुकाए मस्तक, वंदना हम कर रहे। नाथ करुणा रूप, करुणा आपकी सब पर रहे। यज्ञ रूप प्रभु हमारे, भाव उज्ज्वल कीजिए। छोड़ देवे छल कपट को, मानसिक बल दीजिए। प्रभु आत्मिक बल दीजिए। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया। सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःख भाग् भवेत्। हे नाथ सब सुखी हों, कोई न हो दुखारी। सब हों निरोग भगवन, धन धान्य के भंडारी। सब भद्र भाव देखें, सन्मार्ग के पथिक हों। दुखिया न कोई होवे, सृष्टि में प्राणधारी। दुखिया न कोई होवे, सृष्टि में प्राणधारी। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव। त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। अब हम सभी श्रेष्ठ यजमानों को ब्लेस करेंगे, आशीर्वाद देंगे। भुवनेश जी, तेज जी, ओम जी और उनके साथ परिवार उनका, लक्ष्मण जी, माता प्रभा जी, राज जी, विराट जी और माता जी भी हैं, उपेंद्र जी, यश मनचंदा जी, अरोरा फैमिली, विजय जी, रीटा जी, विनय जी एवं सभी अन्य यजमानगण, श्री विश्रुत जी। ओम सत्याः सन्तु यजमानानां कामः। ओम सफलाः सन्तु यजमानानां कामः। ओम पूर्णाः सन्तु यजमानानां कामः। ओम सौभाग्यमस्तु, ओम कल्याणमस्तु, ओम आरोग्यमस्तु, ओम शुभं भवतु, ओम स्वस्ति, ओम स्वस्ति, ओम स्वस्ति। सभी का कल्याण हो।
Dhanyawad Acharya ji. I'm not sure if anybody else is having some technical issues. I think Acharya ji's video had frozen. So I hope all of you can hear me. So at this time, first of all, I will request Adanya Alreja ji for a bhajan, please.
सुनने में आ रहा है?
जी, धन्यवाद.
थैंक यू जी.
नमस्ते.
कोई लाख करे चतुराई रे, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई. कोई लाख करे चतुराई रे, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई. जरा समझो इसकी सच्चाई रे, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई. इस दुनिया में भाग्य के आगे चले न किसी का उपाय, कागज हो तो सब कोई वांचे, कर्म न वांचा जा. एक दिन सी किस्मत के कारण वन को गए थे रघुराई रे, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई. कोई लाख करे चतुराई रे, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई. जरा समझो इसकी सच्चाई रे, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई. काहे मनवा धीरज खोता, काहे तू ना हकरो, अपना सोचा कभी नहीं होता, भाग्य करे सो. चाहे हो राजा चाहे भिखारी, ठोकर सभी ने यहाँ खाई रे, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई. जरा समझो इसकी सच्चाई रे, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई. कोई लाख करे चतुराई रे, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई, कर्म का लेख मिटे नारे भाई. हरिओम जी.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आदरणीय अलरेजा जी. बहुत ही सुंदर भजन. थैंक यू फॉर योर पार्टिसिपेशन एंड योर प्रेजेंस ऑलवेज. थैंक यू जी.
थैंक यू जी.
I'd like to request Rita Kohli if you would do a bhajan today, please. Not sure. I don't think she's prepared. So anyhow, we'll ask her to join next time. So before I invite Acharya ji back for his inspirational words today, he'll talk about the contributions and the life of Swami Shraddhanand ji. Just a couple announcements. You should have received the last issue of Navrang for this year and, of course, the 2024 calendar. If you do in your local samajas need any extra calendars, please let us know as soon as possible. That way, we will make those copies available and send them for last print. Secondly, just through the holidays, we will not be having our regular programming. We'll only be here next Saturday. So the daily Sandhya and the classes for next week will not happen just because many people are away in the holidays and everything. So we will continue our programming Saturday, and then from 2nd of January, we will have our daily Sandhya and Satyash Prakash classes on Tuesdays, and then, of course, on Wednesdays, Rigved Bhashya Bhumika classes. Also, July 18 to 21st, please make sure you are planning on being in New York for the International Arya Mahasammelan. This is going to be the biggest Arya Mahasammelan ever held in North America, in fact, outside India. So the dates are there, the venue, and all the details and everything will be done. So please make sure you are making travel plans. Through these forums and other information, we'll be sharing more information, agenda, and all the exciting things that the program and the organizing committee is putting together. But none of that will be successful without your participation and your presence. So please make sure July 18th to 21st, you are in New York for the International Arya Mahasammelan. So at this time, may I request Acharya Varun Dev ji for today's pravachan.
धन्यवाद श्री विश्व जी. Can all hear me?
Ji Acharya.
Okay. ॐ नायमात्मा प्रवचनेन लभ्यो न मेधया न बहुना श्रुतेन यमेवैष वृणुते तेन लभ्यस्तस्यैष आत्मा विवृणुते तनुं स्वाम्. Respected all the Arya Parivar members in United States, today it is my privilege that I got this great opportunity to speak in front of you on the life of great noble soul personality in our Arya Samaj movement, Swami Shraddhanand ji. This shloka from Mundaka Upanishad perfectly suits the life of Swami Shraddhanand, because when you read his autobiography, which he wrote as Kalyan Marg Ka Pathik, I read recently, a few months back, I got very much interested in in fact, last year, when I got very interested in his life, how did he get transformed? He was so atheist. He had disbelief in the religion. He was very disappointed with the superstitions and superstitious traditions of Hindu religion. So what happened in his life that completely transformed him, and he became such a great sannyasi of Arya Samaj that when we will think about his life works, we will say and at last that he was such a great soul who completely sacrificed his life for the Arya Samaj movement. So I will just start with this meaning of this shloka, that this self is not won by exegesis, nor by brain power, nor by much learning of scripture. Only by him whom it chooses can it be won. To him, this self unveils its own body. And even Swami Shraddhanandji, he mentioned this same shloka from Mundak Upanishad in his autobiography Kalyan Marg Ka Pathik. And he says that in my life, exactly this thing happened with me. I was engulfed in such a dark world of doubts, of subterfuges, and of so many bad habits, that for me to come out of that dark hole, it was very, he was very, in a way, distressed. But the time came when the positive spiritual transition started in him by Swami Dayanandji. So let's start this little journey of Swami Shraddhanandji from the beginning. And there are beautiful incidents in his life we will go through, and we will be so wondered when we will know about those incidents. So in the first part of his autobiography, the first chapter, or the first his records of life, he gives title, wonderful title. What? Battle between truth and falsehood. That from the time he was born and he was in his teen age, his life was full of battles in his mind. Battle between his own bad habits, battle between doubts and the belief system, battle, the war inside him between truth and falsehood. So let's start from the beginning. He was born in Jalandhar. There is a suburb area in Jalandhar which is called Talwan. So he was born there. His father was Lala Nanak Chandra, who was a police inspector there in Kapurthala in Punjab. Then he was shifted to different parts of UP, which we call Uttar Pradesh today. He was moved to Bareilly when Swami Munshi Ram, his child, when he was child, his name was Munshi Ram. Munshi Ram, when he at the age of 3, his father and all the family moved to Bareilly. From Bareilly, they moved Badaयूं, then different parts of the Uttar Pradesh. But the more we found in his life, he remembered about him is in Kashi, in Banaras, in Bareilly, and then later on in Punjab. So Nanak Chandraji his father was very devoted to the worshipping of Lord Shiva, according to the Puranic myths. He was a staunch Puranic, and he taught the same to the family too. And Munshi Ram used to go to Kashi Vishwanath temple every day almost to have the darshan there. And there something happened in his life why did he become atheist? That we should know first. Why did he become atheist in his life? So he writes that when he got one Pandit to teach him the Sanskrit, his character was very loose and he had some very bad habits. So when he saw that loose character Pandit, his belief from the Sanskrit was completely, gradually decreased. And then he became more and more atheist. He started questioning the traditions, Indian traditions, and all the superstitions in the life there in Banaras. One very important incident happened which completely turned him into atheist was, and he cried after that incident that I'm going to put in front of you. One day when he was in Banaras, he was in his teenage, and he went to Kashi Vishwanath temple. At that time, Queen of Riva was visiting the temple. So police guards outside, they stopped him entering the temple premises. And he tried a lot to enter into the temple because he wanted to worship. But he was failed. They did not give him any entry. With full of disappointments, he came back to his house and he started questioning his belief system, his own beliefs, that this queen, is she more powerful than God that she can stop some devotee of God to meet him? So these very fundamental basic questions completely puzzled his mind, and slowly, gradually, he became atheist. And not only atheist, he says that he started loafing. He started wasting his time on the streets in gambling. He started consuming liquor. He became alcoholic. So many things happened in his life, but one thing is there in his autobiography, that he was suffering psychologically while involving in these activities. When I was reading, he was always regretting, oh, I did this and I regret. I was so much in atonement that why did I commit this thing? Why did I entered into this bad habit? So these few things happened in Banaras when he became very lazy, idle, and completely lost. That was the time when he was in his teen age. Then, after some time, his father moved to Balia. That is, Balia is the kind of border between Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. He was police inspector there. And he used to live in Kashi and used to sometime visit Balia. Then sometimes it happened that he saw one of his own friends were doing very wrong things with the woman. And when he saw that dirtiness in the society within his own friend circle, he became more and more disappointed and away from our traditions. One of the incidents which I remember in his life, when he was around 20 years old, his father, he told him that now you should get married, and he took him to Jalandhar. And he was so excited to get married at the time because he was in that young age. He writes, then he became the victim of child marriage when he saw that his wife was only 12 years old. And then he felt the need of change in our systems. He felt so embarrassed that how can, because he was studying, he later on he became a lawyer from Lahore. He completed his law. So he wrote himself that when I saw this, that in his own life, he saw all these child marriages, and the women were is treated like very badly in his life. Then he was so disappointed with all these, I must say, the stains in the Indian society. He had no faith at that time. He had no faith in God, in culture, in traditions. He was completely disinterested. Then something happened. And what happened? Swami Dayanand, when he was in Bareilly, Swami Dayanand ji, in 1879, when Munshi Ram was only, he was born in 22nd February 1856, when he was only 23 years old. Then Swami Dayanand came into Bareilly for his Vyakhyan, and his father came to him. He said, a great yogi has come to Bareilly. Maybe your beliefs will change. You will become then a theist. You will believe in God. Let's go and just listen to him. I was very impressed. He just ignored his father, and one day he said, okay, let me see what this yogi says, this saint says. Because he had seen in his life so many charlatans, so many people who were putting mask on their face of religion and dharma, and inwardly they were completely devil. So on that day, when he came in August, 15th August in Bareilly, Swami Dayanand ji, Rishi Dayanand, and when he went to his Vyakhyan, I will tell you what he writes in his own words, but I will convert, of course, translate into English. He says he could not forget that spiritual ecstasy he felt after listening to Rishi Dayanand. Because whatever Rishi Dayanand was saying, he was explaining the meaning of Om, different names of Ishwar in that Vyakhyan, and the Tej, and the power, and the bliss Swami Shraddhanand, Munshi Rama at that time, he felt in his heart, that transition already had started. Then regularly he started going into his pravachan, his Vyakhyan. One day he got very interested that what is the day schedule of Rishi Dayanand. So he asked someone who was taking care of him. So he said at the 3 o'clock in the morning, with kopeen, no clothes except the kopeen, he goes out of his room, and then he comes back at 6 o'clock in the morning. So he decided with few of his friends that let's see what this yogi is doing, going in the dark early in the morning outside and coming after 3-4 hours. So one day they were hidden in a bush and they were waiting for him to come out. When Swami Dayanand came out, they started following him. And after 5 miles, Swami Dayanand ji just accelerated in such a very fast speed that they could not catch him. They could not follow him. He says, we all were very young, but that sannyasi, that Swami Dayanand, speed was like we were left behind. We could not spot him anymore. Another day, they again went after him. And then on that day, they saw that Swami Dayanandji, he sat after few miles, after 1 hour of walk, he sat under a banyan tree and he closed his eyes and he went into Samadhi. Swami Shraddhanandji writes that for 1.5 hours he was completely still. There was no movement in his body. He was completely on his face, that blissful smile. When he saw this scene in front of him, a yogi, he saw that tej around him. Then he said Munshiram got ill and Swami Dayanandji left. Before Swami Dayanandji left, he asked questions to him. So many questions he asked about Ishwar, but he cleared all his doubts. But while he was going, before that, he asked Rishi Dayanand that, okay, you have answered my all questions logically, but I want to know whether the existence of God is real or not. How will you prove that? Will you prove in front of me? Can you establish that faith in my heart so that I can understand that you are a great yogi? And thus Swami Dayanandji's answer was wonderful. He said, you asked me logically all questions, I answered your all questions. But this belief, this faith in you, on the divine consciousness, on Parmeshwar, will only come when His grace will be on you. Such was the wonderful answer Rishi Dayanand ji gave to him, to Munshiram. After few days, few years, Munshiram again fell into the very dark world of this alcohol and all that. But he remembered one incident in his life, which he says that was the turning point of my life after meeting Rishi Dayanand, that all of his friends took him to drink liquor and they were drinking and drinking. Then some of his friends misbehaved with a woman and he was so disgusted with them. Suddenly, he saved that woman from them and he saw, oh, some liquor was still left in the bottle. He thought, let it finish. Then when just he poured that into the glass, suddenly he wrote in himself that suddenly he saw Swami Dayanandji in front of him. And he says, now you will start believe that God is there. And he says, after 1 second, I didn't see anything, but I felt his presence in a way that was the turning point in his life. And from that day, he left every bad habit in his life. From that day, he resolved in himself that I will become now a proper Arya Samaji. His Shraddha then was, he became so Shraddhalu to Rishi Dayanand. He read Satyat Prakash. He bought Satyat Prakash from Jalandhar Arya Samaj. He went to Lahore because Pandit Gurudat Vidyarthi, he used to come to Lahore, to Peshawar, to Quetta. So when he saw Pandit Gurudat Vidyarthi, he was so inspired by him. He said he was such a genius student, such a genius disciple of Swami Dayanandji, that he completely sacrificed his life in the service of Dharma. So all these incidents slowly, gradually, completely transformed him within. And he became, in 1902, he started Gurukul Kangdi in Haridwar. And what is the reason behind that? That also I will tell you. When he was in Jalandhar or somewhere, some ladies, some students came to him and they started saying that they were coming from some kind of classes, and they started telling that, oh, you should chant Isa, 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 something like that, then you will get liberated. When he saw such things that people, innocent people, are getting converted because they are so innocent, they don't know the difference between what is right and wrong, they don't know the intention, then he resolved himself that he will work for the education for the children so that they become enlightened, they become intelligent, and they become wise to what to choose and what not to choose. So that spirit in him. One more incident I remember. In Jalandhar Arya Samaj, he was proposed to become a Pradhan. And when he heard that he is going to be a Pradhan, he was so restless. He felt such an obligation on himself that now I have to be completely living in accordance with the Vedic principle, with the 10 principles of Samaj. So what he decided? He decided daily he will read 2 hours Satyat Prakash in order to become worthy of becoming a that office holder. So such was the great spirit of Swami Shraddhanandji. He took sannyas in 1917, and he completely dedicated his life towards the Arya Samaj movements to reform the society, all the superstitions in the society. He started Shuddhi Andolan, reconversion of the people, because people were being converted by making them fool, by giving them some different kinds of things in the form of money and all that. So he took that baton of Rishi Dyanandji and he came out and roared in the world for the Vedic Dharma, for Vedic Siddhant, and he propagated the Vedic principles in the society in a way that he became fearless. He was the only sannyasi, a Hindu sannyasi from Jama Masjid in Delhi. He chanted Ved mantras. So he was, because he says, I was Kshatriya from my birth and from my karma. And the Kshatriyatva he propagated in his life to serve the Vedic Sanskriti, and his love, his devotion, his commitment to Rishi Dayanand, that touch, divine touch of Rishi Dayanand, completely, Rishi Dayanand transformed so many people with his tej, because he was a true yogi. He was a most sincere yogi at that time in that area. So such was the example of Swami Shraddhanandji's life, whose life for us should become a guide, a light, and a complete direction, practical advice we can take from his life, how we can be inspired in order to serve the Samaj. And Arya Samaj, as he said, is the true means of reformation of the society, and a true Samaji will be who will sacrifice, who will serve the Samaj for the sake of Vedic Dharma, for the sake of Vedic Sanskriti, without any presumptions, without any kind of selfishness. So Today is the Balidan Divas of Swami Shraddhanand Ji, who left us, who was assassinated unfortunately today in 1926. So we should always commemorate Swami Shraddhanand, who was the great devotee and disciple of Rishi Dayanand, and we should try to become, we should imbibe, we should learn from his life. How can we transform our life? There is no, from the life of Swami Shraddhanand, which one thing I learned very seriously, very sincerely, that from that dark world, he was liberated and he got such a height, spiritual height. He became such a great revolutionary, social revolutionary, that he changed the education system. He reformed the education system. He started Gurukul Parampara again, and who sincerely tried very hard to make the whole world noble. Dhanyavad. Thank you.
Thank you, Acharya ji, for giving us a glimpse into Swami Shraddhanand ji's inspirational life. Lot to be read, there's a lot to understand him and take inspiration from him, not as just as members of Arya Samaj. I think everybody should read his autobiography, especially people who are leaders, who take a leadership role in sabhas and local samajas, because his personal life is one thing, but I think his struggle with the structure, his struggle with the independence movement, with the governments, all those things we all struggle through. Probably just not the struggles he went through, but how he resolved to continue to move forward. And ultimately he lost his life because of his agenda for Hindus, right? And without ever thinking that मुझे कोई निराशा का कोई moment नहीं था उनकी life में, especially when I was doing some political work. I was just going through my library, in addition to the book जो आपने mention करी थी, this book, I don't know if everybody, let me take my virtual background off. This is Mere Pita. This is written by Indra Vidyachar, his son, right? And so he writes about the struggles of his father, Swami Shraddhanand ji. I think anybody who has not read it should look. So this is the book. I'll hold it up. I don't know if it's coming clearly or not. You can see.
We can see.
Yeah. So Mere Pita, right? So this is written by him. Of course, Swami Shraddhanand is also Hindu Sangathan, and this is also available in English, right? This talks about the need of Hindus staying together and how, the whole conspiracy of the British to split the Hindus, right? That's all there. And very interestingly, if you ever read the autobiography of Gandhiji, Atmakatha, right? In there, he writes a chapter of when he visited at the Gurukul Kangdi, right? So we actually, our family has a close connection to Swami Shraddhanand ji. A lot of people may not know that. First of all, the Khosla ancestral village is also Talwan, right? So there's some documented history there. And secondly, my father's Nanaji, Acharya Ramdev ji, was one of the first acharyas of Gurukul Kangdi when the Gurukul Kangdi was established by Swami Shraddhanand ji, and later he helped form Kanya Gurukul Dehradun. So I'm very well, and my family is very much inspired by Swami Shraddhanand ji, and we feel very close to him. In fact, at the last Arya Mahasammelan, Swami Shraddhanand ji's great-grandson was present at the Houston Arya Mahasammelan. So he's recently associated with the Arya Pratini Sabha. It was a proud moment for all of us, for somebody from his family to be actually present. So, we look to explore this history and learn from it, and of course, take inspiration from it. So, thank you all for joining this morning. And I'll request Acharya ji to close the session with Shantipa.
शान्तिपाठः। ॐ द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्ति ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। जो बोले सो अभय।
वैदिक धर्म की जय।
जय। गुरुवर विरजानंद जी की
जय।
युग प्रवर्तक महर्षि दयानंद जी की
जय।
हुतात्मा स्वामी श्रद्धानंद जी की
जय।
मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम श्री रामचंद्र जी की
जय।
योगेश्वर श्री कृष्ण जी की
जय।
सभी संतों महात्मा और ऋषियों की
जय।
आर्य समाज
अमर
वेद की ज्योति
जल्दी
ओम का झंडा
ऊंचा
किणवंतो
विश्वमार्यम
वैदिक ध्वनि। ओ वैदिक अभिवादन सब